I want to talk about Give Love, Give Life a little bit here. We started maybe 2002. Give Love, Give Life started originally with a woman named Marceline Bertrand, and she had ovarian cancer. So we started doing these benefits to raise funds for ovarian cancer research through a woman named Dr. Beth Carlin at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, who's a specialist in this. So we did 2 or 3 of these as benefits. And in 2006, we came to this real understanding that not to minimize ovarian cancer research, this needs to be done, and for the litany of reasons that everyone that has ever had any contact with it understands. But the other part that we took into consideration is that, well, you know, even whatever advances happen with ovarian cancer research, if you've got women that don't have access to health care, then even the research is not, you know, it's not serving, you know, those, again, people are cut out. And so we made the decision that we would focus to prioritizing national health care insurance for the women and children of America. And then, unfortunately, Marsh passed over in January of 2007. And so it got kind of left in my hands, but I'm kind of erratic, you know. Well, it just is. All right. But our idea is we wanted to see if we could make prioritizing national health care insurance for the women and children of America a part of the national dialogue before the presidential election take place. I mean, just get them talking about it. You know, I mean, that's, you know, if we can do that, because we don't, yeah, all right? And part of this thing is, as a part of the consideration of this, prioritizing, we look at what's going on in the country today, you know, like, I mean, what I was saying earlier, they're all lying, and I just know that they are, right? But, but when you look at all of the things that truly affect the citizens of America, and all the lies and promises and stuff, nobody's coming up with any coherent plan to address the needs. You know, everybody just playing off of the divisions, even those, you know, all of that kind of behavior and activity is going on, and there's nothing coherent being discussed that meet the needs of all of the people. But if you go and you look at, but we know you can't go after universal health care, because if you put your focus on universal health care, that's already demonized. All right, the opposition is already lined up on that, so that's too well entrenched, and it becomes used further as a divisive tactic against the people. But with the women and children, see, because our whole attitude about this is let's prioritize national health care insurance for the women and children of America. It isn't about, if somebody is a right-wing racist, I got no quarrel with them about this. This isn't about that. If they're a left-wing extremist, this isn't about that. This is about, do you agree that we should prioritize health care insurance for the women and children of America? Something we have in common, you know, something that nobody's, it's not really, I don't think it's really being done, but approaching through what we have in common, all right, and let our differences be, just we won't speak our differences. Do we agree on this? Now, this is what we're after, right, is to go after it like this. So we're not asking people to change their ways. We're asking, do you agree that we should prioritize health care insurance for the women and children of America? Do you agree to that? Do you agree with that? And that's what our approach is to it. Because we're looking, because, you know, and it's interesting, we have a website, givelovegivelife.net, and then a MySpace page. And it's interesting, if you visit the MySpace page, the diversity, see that, you know, because, and that's what we're looking at, because, so we know in theory that this is what, we know in theory we're in the right area, that something can be dealt with. It's just finding something that can't be demonized, and people can disagree with this, but it can't really be demonized. And the other thing is, it's like, because you look at this, because about whatever role we play in whatever's going on, a culture that doesn't look out for the women and children isn't really a culture. All right? And this is something that maybe Americans better kind of figure out and start to make a decision about just in general. Part of what we're trying to see and find out is, are there enough people that get this, that really, that agree with this, that will put some of their energy into it. But we're not asking for a lot of energy, we're just asking for some energy. All right? It's like, if you agree with this, will you say this, will you talk to 10 people about it? Ask them to check our website out, givelovegivelife.net, or our MySpace. Actually check both out, all right? But would you talk to 10 people about doing this? And plus talking to 10 people about doing this, would you communicate I'm in Oregon, right? Or Oz, not in Kansas, right? Yeah, I'm in Portland. Okay, no, excuse me, not really. But in Oregon, all right, somebody's running for the national office for the U.S., for the Congress. Either they're running for the House or they're running for the Senate. And then we've got the ones that are running for political office from the presidential thing. If you would communicate to them that you want them, not ask them, you want them to prioritize national health care insurance for the women and children of America. You want them to do it. If you would communicate that, if you can get 10 people to communicate it, and if ask each one of those 10 people to ask 10 people to communicate it. I mean, in serious realities, even if a small percentage of the people would do this, in a month's period of time, we can put some voice out there. And this is no sidetracking, because, the issue is, do you agree that the women and children of America should have health care insurance? That's the issue. How it's going to get done, this, that, the other, all that, that's not the issue. The issue is, do we agree about that? See, and I think because of the way the polls and the way they're playing this manipulated election out, I think that there's still enough time to generate enough energy to force them to start to talk about it, because you know how sucky up they get. They try to go over there, But the only problem is, we're depending on the polls to tell us what we're concerned about. All right? And then we're depending on the politicians to tell us, make us promises about what they'll do, but we're not really saying anything to them. See, and maybe this is a way back. So and in this room, because I'm pushing heavy for this, because I would really like to see it happen. And I know that, the next time you want to beat yourself up in your head, go to the computer and get in touch with people. Say, hey, health insurance, we really need it. Yeah, somebody understands. No, but I'm just saying, everything we ever do is about energy. So how much energy do we just put into stuff that we don't even know why we're putting it there? So I'm just asking, let's take some, with maybe a piece of consistency and put some time, a little bit of energy into doing this, because, see, I know that that we can create this. See, I know that it can be done. It's not an issue of whether we can do this or can't. It's an issue of whether we will or we won't. That's what it's all about. I mean, just like in our individual lives. This isn't about whether can I do this or can I not do this in life. It's about will I or won't I. See? About appreciate our power. The power of being a human being. That power that we have. Learn to appreciate it and use it in a healthy way.